Hello, friends. I wanted to share a personal story today that happened to me and that I had to spend several therapy sessions dealing with because it literally haunted me for weeks. It's also partially inspired me to make this channel. This is my tale of the most terrifying dream I've ever had in my life. And now, before we start, a trigger warning. There will be, unfortunately, brief talk of animal cruelty. The story won't make sense without it, so I apologize in advance. I promise to try to keep it as brief as I can, but if that isn't something you want to hear about, feel free to click off now. Okay? Alright, let's go. This was about 3 years ago. Now, a little about me. I am a high functioning autistic. One of my traits is that I hyperfixate and deep dive into new topics that I discover. When I find a new thing I'm into, I go whole hog. There's no in between with me. At the time, I had recently discovered analog horror while also watching a lot of true crime documentaries. On this particular occasion, I had just finished binge watching The Monument Mythos, an excellent series, and if you haven't ever seen it, I highly recommend you go check that one out. Anyway, I then flipped from YouTube to Netflix, and it recommended me the documentary Don't F with Cats. I won't go into a full synopsis here, but very quickly, it's about a real-life Norman Bates type character who was uploading videos of himself torturing kittens, back when you could get away with that kind of thing and not have it immediately flagged and taken down or shoved to the dark web where nobody can find it. Internet sleuths were trying to find him. The cops didn't do anything, of course, and then he escalated to murdering someone and finally got caught. It takes a lot to rattle me. I'm pretty desensitized at this point with all the horror content that I have consumed over my lifetime, but for some reason this particular thing really seemed to get to me. I didn't even realize it in the moment. It took a few days to process, I think. It also didn't help that I was going through some really rough mental health stuff back then. Okay, now we can get on with the dream. I was in a living room I didn't recognize with a small child, whom I also did not recognize. We were both sitting cross-legged and the kid was quietly playing with an adorable kitten. It felt safe, comforting. We were both laughing and giggling together. And then he turned to me and he stared. His laugh changed. His face began to morph into some kind of horrifying demon. His eyes were pitch black and bleeding. His laugh got deeper, twisted. I was completely frozen in fear. He coughed up a long rope out of his mouth and wrapped it around the kitten's neck and began strangling it, all the while laughing and staring at me, as if he was daring me to try to stop him, but I couldn't move. And that was when I realized the most terrifying thing of all. He wasn't laughing at me in the dream. He was laughing through the dream at me in the real, as if he was actually standing over me in bed. I finally woke up, not being able to breathe, crying and screaming. I genuinely thought I was having a heart attack, and it took me about 15 minutes to finally calm down. I had to wake up my partner at 2 a.m. I couldn't stop sobbing. I've never felt anything like that before or since. I still get shaken when I think about this. I decided it was probably a good idea to take an extended break from true crime and analog horror for a while. Anyway, that's the most terrifying dream I've ever had in my life. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please consider giving me a like and subscribe. It'll really help motivate me to keep going. Thank you again, and may you have the strength to conquer your demons.